Okay, so Vijayawada, right. When the monsoons hit, they've got this problem.
A problem. I'd say it's more like an annual event.
Yeah, an event where the Budameru stream decides to, kind of re-landscape the city.
Turns streets into swimming pools, from what I hear.
Exactly. And it's not just Vijayawada, it's like a chain reaction, It affects Kolaru Lake, the Akiveedu River, all the way to the Bay of Bengal.
It's a whole ecosystem thing, not just a local issue.
And the folks there have heard promises before, right? Solutions that didn't quite well.
Let's just say there's a healthy dose of skepticism when it comes to permanent fixes.
But this time, we've got Water Resources Minister Nimmala Ramanaidu stepping up with a four-part plan. On paper, it looks pretty solid.
It does seem like they're thinking bigger picture this time, which is promising, recognizing the interconnectedness of the whole system.
All right, so let's break it down, this four-part plan. First off, boosting the Vela Galera regulator's capacity.
So giving it more muscle to handle the flow makes sense.
Right. But, what does that actually entail? Wider channels? Fancy tech controlling the water levels.
Exactly. The details are where the rubber meets the road. Can it handle those peak monsoon flows? That's the question.
Good point. Then there's the expansion of the diversion channel, basically giving the water more room to run off, right?
Keep those residential areas from turning into, water parks.
Not the kind of water park anyone wants in their backyard. But hold on, expanding a channel in Vijayawada, that's a dense city.
Land acquisition, potential displacement of residents, environmental impact of all that construction. Yeah, there are a lot of layers to consider.
Okay, so we've got the regulator, the channel. What's next?
Well, they're talking about reinforcing the banks of the Budameru itself.
To stop it from, what, overflowing?
More like erosion, making sure the water stays where it's supposed to. That could mean anything from concrete to, planting vegetation.
So, which is better? Concrete seems easier, but
it can backfire. Worsen erosion in the long run, disrupt the ecosystem. Natural solutions are trickier, though.
more sustainable in theory, but need careful planning. It's a trade-off, like always.
Exactly. And then there's the fourth part, the one that piqued my interest, restoring the old canal in Vijayawada.
So instead of building new, they're repurposing the old. Smart move.
Potentially.
Yeah.
But we need to know, is this canal even usable? Has it been maintained? Will it need a major overhaul?
And how does it fit in with the overall drainage plan? We don't want to create a bottleneck somewhere else. This cost thing, it's looming large, isn't it? Expanding the Budameru in Vijayawada itself with all that development.
Oh, yeah. Urban development tends to make flood mitigation way more expensive. So they're looking at the old canal, mostly surrounded by agricultural land.
Cheaper on the compensation side, but
But you're disrupting livelihoods, potentially impacting food production. Always a balance to strike.
every solution seems to have its own set of complications.
Welcome to the world of water management. And speaking of complications, there's one more piece of this puzzle, that railway bridge, the one at Akiveedu, leading into the Upuduru.
Oh, right. The one that's basically a big old dam blocking the water flow.
Pretty much bottleneck city. It's
Oh.
going to be interesting to see how they handle that.
You're talking about the water resources folks and the railway ministry playing nice. That's a lot of red tape, right?
You said it. Two massive departments, different priorities, different timelines, even their funding comes from different places.
Yeah, and I've heard stories about those kinds of collaborations. Lots of meetings, not a lot of action. So even if this bridge thing gets sorted out, is it really a sustainable solution long term? What about Kolaru Lake and the Apuduru River? They're part of this too.
Right. We can't just focus on keeping Vijayawada dry and forget about the rest. The Budameru doesn't exist in a vacuum.
It's all connected. So what are we looking at? Environmentally speaking, what needs to be considered?
For one, the water quality of the Budameru itself. What's it carrying downstream? How will these changes affect that?
So it's not just about the volume of water, it's what's in it.
Exactly. And then there's the impact on the plants and animals in Kolaru Lake and the Upuduru. Will messing with the flow mess with their breeding, their migration, their whole food chain?
Big questions. Big, complicated questions.
This needs more than just engineers, right?
Yeah, ecologists too. We need the engineering solutions, sure, but someone's got to make sure those solutions don't create new problems down the line.
A balance as always. And we can't forget the people who live and work along these waterways either.
The fishermen, the farmers, the communities that rely on Kolaru and the Upuduru, their voice has got to be part of this too, this permanent solution. It's sounding more and more complex.
The web, that's for sure. But even with all the challenges, there's potential here. If they do it right, with everyone at the table, with respect for the environment.
Vijayawada and the whole region could really benefit. So what does that look like? What's the best case scenario?
Imagine Vijayawada. Monsoon season hits. And it's not this big stressful event. Streets are dry, homes are safe, people can just live their lives.
No more wading through knee-deep water. Okay, I like that picture. What about the lake and the river?
Colorado Lake is thriving. Water levels are stable, water quality is good, fish populations are healthy, fishermen can make a living, a Budameru is flowing freely, no erosion problems, plants and animals are doing their thing.
And the Bay of Bengal gets cleaner water flowing in. It's a vision of a healthier future, for sure. But let's be real, there will be bumps in the road, right? What are we watching out for?
Land acquisition's a big one, especially if they extend that old canal. You're talking about people's livelihoods, their homes, their farms.
Making sure farmers get a fair deal, that the land is used in a way that doesn't hurt the community. And then there's that bridge.
A railway bridge. Yeah, even with the best communication between departments, construction's going to be tricky. Keeping the trains running while you're working on the bridge, that's not easy.
There's always something, isn't there? Unforeseen weather, funding issues. It's like you need the perfect storm, but in a good way. The right expertise, the political will, community buy-in, and maybe a little bit of luck.
That about sums it up. But hey, that's what we do here, right? On the deep dive, we dig into the complicated stuff.
You know, this whole Budameru situation, it feels like, bigger than just Vijayawada, right? Like, it's about how we deal with water as cities grow everywhere.
Yeah, Vijayawada is like a case study, almost. What happens when you prioritize development, concrete, over natural water systems?
Paved over everything, crammed buildings in right up to the riverbanks.
Squeeze the water out, and then wonder why it comes back with a vengeance.
It's like we forget water always wins, always finds a way. So are we doomed to live in these concrete jungles, constantly battling nature?
Not necessarily. There's this whole movement towards what they call nature-based solutions, basically working with the water, not against it.
Okay, so less concrete channels, more. Well, give me some examples.
Think green corridors along the waterways, restoring wetlands, planting trees to soak up the rain, even pavements that let water seep through.
Not just managing the floods, but actually making the city greener in the process. Two birds, one stone. But what about places that are already built up? Like Vijayawada, is it too late?
It's tougher for sure to retrofit, but there are ways. Rooftop gardens, rain barrels, even green walls on buildings. Little pockets of nature doing their part.
So it's possible, you just got to get creative, find those opportunities. But even with the best infrastructure, floods happen, right? What else can cities do?
Yeah, you can't eliminate floods entirely, but you can prepare for them. Early warning systems, flood insurance, education campaigns so people know what to do.
So it's a multi-pronged approach. You need the dams and the channels, the hard stuff, but also
The softer stuff. The community engagement, the knowledge, the policies that make the city more resilient. It's not just reacting to the floods, it's planning ahead, understanding how urbanization impacts water. We've got to stop seeing water as the enemy.
It's a resource, right? The lifeblood of the city, not something to be feared and controlled. Well, this deep dive into Vijayawada has been eye-opening, to say the least. This four-part plan, all the different approaches, the challenges, it's complex. But I think what we've really uncovered here is it's about more than just keeping things dry. It's about a bigger vision, a more resilient, fairer, and sustainable future for everyone.
Well said. And it's not just Vijayawada. Every city facing these issues of growth, of climate change, needs to have this conversation. Keep asking the tough questions, pushing for better solutions. We're all in this together, figuring out how to live in a world where water is, well, everything.
And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive. Thanks for joining us on this journey down the Budameru. Keep learning, keep exploring, and keep diving deep. Until next time.